when people see me and they see my name, they see the foodie side of it, they just assume that I eat a lot of food. I'm like, no, I'm not that kind of foodie. So the kind of foodie that I am is a foodie that approaches food from a wholesome lens. Because of how I grew up, I tend to process things a lot. I don't take things on surface level. So nothing about me is ever literal.
Hello everyone, my guest today is popularly known as That Foodie Lawyer. Now that's a very uncommon name, so she'll be easy to spot out anywhere. Now lawyer and foodie, what do they have in common? Join me as I welcome Azeezat Adejare. Hello Azeezat.
Thank you so much. I'm really delighted to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's great having you on the show. I love the pop of colors.
I'm always popping colors.
Spring has finally sprung.
Yes, I speak in colors all year round. I love colors.
Lovely, wonderful.
Thank you.
Now, That Foodie Lawyer, that's a peculiar name.
Yes.
How did you get into becoming That Foodie Lawyer?
Interesting question. So it's been a long journey, and but to keep it short, because we don't have all day, obviously, it is a name that I came up with from going through my journey of finding myself and discovering who I am and connecting with who that person is. So that's the shortest way
to explain that.
Yes.
And it's interesting, you said you adopted that name as a sort of a nod to your journey of becoming.
Right.
So take us to that space. What does it look like? Why did you need to become? Why did you need to evolve, if you will? Take us there.
Okay. As a child, I was quite withdrawn. And so I would describe myself, I was one of those children that was hot and cold, if you get what I mean. So in terms of how I express myself verbally when I'm in the spaces with other people, I was quite withdrawn. But inside, I had an extremely vibrant and busy mind. So within myself, I was this vivacious person that had so much to think about and like creative ideas, but on the outside, I was like ice water, right?
So that was what you meant by the hot and the cold.
Exactly. So I'm hot and cold. I still am, and a lot of people see me and they're like, when I say I'm introverted, I can't get away. They're like, move away from here. How are you an introvert? But I'm an introvert, and I also have the extroverted side of me. So I am best described as an ambivert. And so as I grew older, I needed to start to the part of the expressive side of me felt boxed and stifled, and so it became continuously important as I grew older to let that side of me out,
find your voice,
to find my voice, connect with it, and to help other people that might be having the same struggles to do the same. And so when I relocated into Canada in 2018, I felt like I was drowning because when I was going through these struggles back home, it was easier to just manage because that was home, right? And I had support. There was family, there was the community was there. Moving in here, I felt even further disconnected, right? So I just made up my mind that no, this has to stop. We have to do something about this. We're going to step out. We're going to put, and when I say we, I'm talking about myself and that withdrawn child, right? Yes. So we're going to do this. We're going to take up space, and we're not going to feel stifled anymore. And so I like to say that I went from stifled to soaring. And that's interesting because I was one of those people that their spouses dragged to Canada. I didn't want to come. Right? I didn't want to come. And now my husband would look at me and say, I thought you didn't want to go back. You're the one enjoying Canada the most now.
Let's go back.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go back to Nigeria.
I wish I could go back. I look forward to going back sometime, but I've just been, my voice has been soaring, and I'm super excited that I went on that journey. And so that foodie lawyer was birthed from like the two things that will never change about me. Like, what is it about me that always remains constant? And you know, as a licensee, because you are one yourself, that is something that just stays with you. People see that barista, like, they're like, you want to call me barista? Like, I find it so heavy, and I still laugh when people call me barista. But there's a heightened sense of responsibility that you just have to embody and live through as a lawyer, and you're known for someone that has integrity. Like, even within the society, you are held to higher standards, and that is something that resonates with my core values, and that would never change. And then on the food side of things, one of the things that I connected with during my younger years when I was quite withdrawn was food. I was so, like, it made me so happy to be in those moments where I am cooking and the family is coming together to bond through food. And you know, like, when you think about me and the things that will never change about me, it's food and law. So
food and law. Food and law.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Thank you.
Oh, so you had to marry both together. You're a lawyer and, well, you love cooking. Now, do you love eating?
Okay. I'm happy that you asked me that question, because
we want to get to know you.
When people see me and they see my name and they see the foodie side of it, they just assume that I eat a lot of food, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not that foodie. I'm not that kind of foodie. So the kind of foodie that I am is the foodie, again, that has a very busy mind, right? A foodie that approaches food from a wholesome lens, right? Because of how I grew up, I tend to process things a lot. I don't take things on surface level. So nothing about me is ever literal, right?
I don't want you to lose your thoughts, but I'm going to take you back there. When you've repeated this phrase about two or three times now, because of how I grew up. How did you grow up? For people who are wondering, I am wondering, how did you grow up? How did that affect that inner child to become who you are today, to even the journey of discovery? What has your upbringing, or how did you grow up? I want to know, and I'm sure people are itching to know.
Okay, so there's no like big story to it, or maybe there is, I don't know, but it was just a lot of feeling of struggling to find that balance, right? Between what was going on inside and what was reflecting outside, right? And wanting to find that space where I just felt comfortable enough to express that, right? And my parents were fantastic, so I don't have a story of maybe there was a broken home or anything like that. That wasn't it, but it was just, you know how kids receive things differently. Like, experiences shape us very differently, right?
Absolutely.
My elementary school, primary school, like we know it, was a mixture of kids it was at an orphanage. So I mixed with kids that lived within an orphanage, and then there were kids that you'd come outside of the orphanage to mix with them. So I was one of those that were from the outside. Yeah, so there were situations, like a number of situations or incidences that happened within that space that weren't too great for me in terms of the things that I experienced in there, right? Interestingly too, I would say that my passion for service also was birthed from being in
Seeing
that
that
space as
environment.
well. Exactly. So it was again, with me, I think there's always like this hot and cold side. Like there's
Yeah.
always two sides to me, right? So
Absolutely.
there's this side that wasn't so palatable with the experience that I had in there.
Yes.
But there's also this beautiful side that helps me to connect with
that.
what acts of service look like, and
The
like just
need.
looking out for people. Exactly.
Yes, the needs that you saw right there.
Exactly. So it all came together to just influence the type of experiences that I've had,
and who
just,
you are.
Yes, and just those struggles with self-expression that I started to have, you know, from that age and growing into an adult. And so that's what that looks like in terms of what my growing up. So it didn't have a lot to do with upbringing. It was more like childhood experiences
and the environment situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually took us back there, because I don't want to use this generally, but many of us who grew up in Nigeria were stifled by the society,
right?
Not because we were naturally quieter kids, but maybe in certain areas where you grew up, you were not encouraged to speak up. If you were from a polygamous family, it affected the way you viewed life. Were you even allowed to come out, depending on your number or position in the family?
Yes.
Do you even have a voice? And sometimes it carries through adulthood.
Yeah.
People keep thinking, I really don't have a voice. People here are older than me. Even when they transition into North America, it continues to affect them. And that's why I was intrigued. I wanted to know, when you kept referring because of the way I grew up. I wanted to know, did the society have a stifling impact on you? And so I'm glad you clarified that.
And thank you for just expanding on that, because just that environment where we were the outsiders, right? And it felt as if the outsiders didn't have the right to do better than the insiders. So as a child that would come top of class every single term, I was targeted a number of times, maybe too many times, for just daring to be that outstanding. It was like, how dare you? You know? And before I got in there for grade 1, in like my junior kindergarten school, I was that child that would dance to the national anthem. I'm not kidding you.
So you had that creative side of you
everybody
already.
else would stand still for the national anthem, and Azeezat is busting moves. So right now, when you see me dancing at my work desk or in my kitchen when I'm cooking every single day, or on the streets near you, guys, that's why. Okay, it didn't just start now. So I was that kid that would bust moves to the national anthem in front, like on the assembly, without shame. Like I didn't care. I was just really happy to express that way. And then moving to the higher, you know, grade and all that attention. And interesting, that's supposed to be like good attention that you get from being outstanding, right? But it didn't quite turn out that way for me. And so I started to feel the need to tone down my voice a little bit, like not do too much, don't be in people's faces too much, right? And so it was just a constant struggle, because like I have so much to give. I have so much to give, right? And so being in a space where I couldn't dare to give as much as I knew I could give had like that lasting impact on exactly. And so also because that's just how I'm wired, there was no way like anyone could kill the fire that I carried, right? Or that I still carried. But it was I then just started to battle with how much is enough, how much, how excellent can I be, how phenomenal can I let people know I am, you know? And I find people walk up to me to say that, oh, what you're doing with the TF4 brand is great, you can do more. I'm like, I know, but like sometimes I'm just like, I'm not sure, right? So just a lot of moments, even now in adulthood, that I have seemingly gone through that process of healing or whatever, I still have those moments where I question, like, am I being in people's faces so much? Am I being too outstand? Like, is this even acceptable? Right? And so, yeah, you just tend to like carry these things with you. And I remember after the Jollof concert editions that I had in 2020, people have been reaching out to say, oh, that was so mind-blowing. You should do something else. And I just retreated right after. I was like, it was so big that we had over 300 people connected to the Zoom party just for jollof rice across 3 different continents. So across Africa, North America, and Europe. It was that big. And in the normal...
What was this contest about?
Okay, so it was during COVID, everywhere was locked down. And just in my usual busy mind manner, I'm like, we can't just be at home. And I'm also like really passionate about community, about my heritage. I'm like, okay, we need to do something about this. Like, people are home, people aren't having much to do. A lot of people were going through like different emotions. And around that time, it was World Jollof Rice Day. And I was like, okay, we can do something with this.
World Jollof Rice.
It was World Jollof Rice. I was like, okay, we can do, there's something in there that we can work with.
Yeah.
And so I just ran with the idea. I'm like, okay, we're going to have a Jollof concert. Yes, it was
a
titled,
Jollof concert.
It was titled the TFL Jollof concert. Yeah, and a lot of people were looking at me like, a Jollof concert, virtual concert.
How was
like,
that?
What? What is she talking about?
What did it look
like? And
I
took it a step further. So I'll tell you the length that I took it to before I tell you how it worked out. So I took it a step further and said, because I'm in the food, I connect with food, right? And I just found myself in the food space, just expressing my love for food, the things that I like to eat, my culture shock with not having what I know in Canada and all that fun stuff. And so I started to, and at the time I also had a food business that I was running just before that time. I had just stopped and then did the concert. And so I was like, okay, we will have a jollof concert where everybody will just come together to celebrate jollof rice, but we will also have a jollof contest. Right? Yes. I know, right? So like, how?
I hope it's not the Ghana, Senegalese, Nigerian.
No, it wasn't.
Jollof.
So we weren't doing jollof wars.
Okay.
It was just like we were going to
the best jollof.
Exactly. So we're going to have food vendors come together and compete against themselves.
Interesting.
And it was really well. The idea was it was 2 ways, right? The people in the food space were really, excited about it. I got a lot of people that I can't start to mention names. All of you guys, thank you so much. A lot of people started to just reach out to other people. You need to be in this contest. Like, word went around really fast, and we had contestants from all provinces across Canada.
Oh my goodness!
And Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, and we were going to have them cook jollof rice and present their best jollof meal. And so everybody started to ask me, how does it make sense to have a jollof contest and we're not tasting the jollof rice? Like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the point. We're also fixated on taste. We have all been too fixated on taste for too long. And again, when people see me and say, and think that I'm a food because I eat a lot of food, like, these are things that point to how I approach food. It's from a wholesome lens. And one of the things that I said over and over again when I was going through the publicity for this event was, taste actually comes at the end of the food experience spectrum. The tasting is what we do last, right? So from the farmer that planted that pepper seed,
and the smell.
Exactly, like, even before we see and smell, there was a whole process of the farmer planting the seed. That's how I see food. Okay, so I was like, for a change, for once, we will not be overly fixated on taste. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to experience food differently from a wholesome angle. And I said, we're going to have these amazing food vendors prepare their best jollof meals, make it look beautiful because this is a virtual event. There's a lockdown, but they'll also build a story around the jollof rice. And so there were judges that judged the presentation, and it was just really beautiful. And
Mm.
like I said, over 300 people tuned in. We talked about jollof rice as different and different things that it represents,
Yes.
as a global brand, as a unifier, as different things. And
Mhm.
because I feel that the jollof culture is very powerful, and it is beyond just food,
Just
right?
food.
It is jollof is a
It's a
brand.
unifier.
Yes.
Jollof is a
Many
unifier.
things, yes. Amongst
Yes,
other things.
amongst
yes.
other things. I'm glad you took us back there, because that was where we trailed off the wholesomeness and food and the way you saw food.
Right.
That's where I interrupted and took you back to how you grew up. So thank you for circling back to that. Now, you've talked about discovering yourself. What was that journey like? Is it something you would like to talk about? What many people are finding that they are lost. In your case, it probably was your voice, your creativity. For some other people, they just feel lost.
Right.
They don't even know how to express themselves, let alone know what to express. And in some cases, there's mental health involved, but most Nigerians are not open to even discussing mental health or approaching it with a therapist or even someone that can help them professionally. Now, is this something that you've experienced while you were finding your voice or, becoming? Is this something you'd like to talk about?
Okay, so first of all, I'll answer the question, is this something you'd like to talk about? No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not something I like to talk about.
enough.
Yeah, it's not something I like to talk about, and
Yes.
that's just being
Yes,
very honest.
absolutely.
Earlier this week, I put a post up on my page, on my Instagram page, and I was talking about how I need to talk more about my why for the TFL brand. Because I find that I don't talk about it enough, right? And like we have gone through in this conversation, the whole journey birthing the TFL brand was the journey of finding voice, right? Finding self, finding my voice.
Yes.
And I feel like I don't put that out enough, because of what your question just alluded to, because there's this stigma attached to
mental health,
attached to like just having these struggles. And we are Nigerians. We don't have time to be soft, if you get what I mean. Like, people are like, what is wrong with you? So you experience this, okay, get over it. You know, like, get over it. Like, people have experienced worse and they're doing well. Like, what is your excuse? Like, stop making excuses. Get on with it, right? And it's just that
there's no acknowledgement of that person's struggle.
Yes. And it's just that culture of being. It's like it's a sense of duty that we all carry to pull through whatever and keep moving and keep going, and
because somebody else has gone through it and
like,
they are thriving.
You have no excuse.
You have no excuse.
You know how we are as Nigerians. Like, you have to be excellent in everything you do. You are not going to point fingers at someone else and make that a reason for you. Like, whatever you have gone through, other people have gone through it. So just taking that step back to acknowledge, and I feel like it's a great value to pass across generation. But I also think that this missing link of just taking the time to acknowledge these things. Yes, compassion, empathy. I think that's super important, and it's why a lot of people aren't comfortable talking about it. And when you now take it to when you add the added layer of mental health to it, people are like, oh no, no, like, people just
don't want to be labeled.
They don't want to go there, right? And I remember in 2017 was the first time I was ever going to talk to a therapist. I reached out to Yinka Fashanti. Yinka, shout out to you. Antika, Mr. Excel, shout out to you. I reached out to Antika, Mr. Excel, and I was like, I saw Antika's post on Facebook, and the post just really resonated with me. I think it was something around having so much inside you that you're struggling to put out there, right? And I wish I'm like, I need your help. Like, I know that
she's a therapist.
Yes. And like I told her that I know that there's so much more to me, and I need help to bring it to life. And that was how the journey actually started.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. So I worked with her and Mr. Excel. They were partners. And after moving to Canada and
that was in Nigeria.
That was in Nigeria. I moved to Canada. That was in 2017. I moved to Canada in 2018. After moving to Canada, and I felt like I was just drowned. Like it was, I was drowning. I met Fumi Ayowole. Shout out to you, Fumi. I met Fumi Ayowole, who I also worked with to just unpack and work through what the blockers are, what was holding me back, and all that has come together really beautifully. Beyond even just therapy, I am someone that I don't wince when it comes to investing into getting answers. Like I don't.
I love how you tagged that an investment, because it is an investment in ourselves.
Absolutely. Like I don't wince. I don't wince, because when I think about the things that I do now, and people come to me and they say stuff like, "Oh, I think you're incredible. I think that's so phenomenal." I'm like, okay, I'm still walking through. Like, this is a situation that I live with. I'm literally still working through this, questioning how much is enough to put out. And someone already thinks I'm incredible.
So just
when
wait.
Everything now comes
just
out.
Wait. Just wait.
Do you understand? Like, when the whole thing now comes out and call, I'm not even started.
You're not starting to
do you understand?
I love it.
So it is definitely an investment to be able to do this much, to be sitting here today without sweating like a dog. I would have been sweating. I'm saying, like, my palms would have been so sweaty. I would have been choking on my words multiple times. So it is definitely an investment, and I don't wince.
Oh, wow.
Because I know
that is so profound.
Where I'm going. I know what I'm made of. And when you're looking at your vision, and I was talking to one of my coaches today, earlier today, shout out to you, Mutiat. She's one of the people that I worked with in terms of focusing on just finding my voice. And I've been working with Mutiat since 2019, I think. And we were talking earlier this morning. I was talking to her earlier this morning, and she was telling me about how when the vision is clear, it would continue to pull you away from those things that are limiting you, because you have your eyes on it. You are so focused on it.
Right.
And I think that's what it's been with me, because I know where I'm going. And the things that are limiting me, I acknowledge them, but the little that I do, because I know that I'm still doing very little. The little that I do, I'm able to do them because to pull myself away from those situations or things or thoughts or experiences that are limiting me, because I have clarity about where I'm going. Absolutely. And it is super important to me to model that to my kids, because, like I always say, they will be the most positively assertive kids that anyone would ever meet, because their mom has gone through that journey and has modeled what it looks like to live a wholesome life, unapologetic life.
That's so powerful.
Thank you.
To be able to inculcate that in the kids as they are growing, and for them to see your own journey.
Exactly.
That is so powerful, because there's no better way to lead by example than what you're doing.
Yeah.
They can see that, and it's so beautiful, because they see your vulnerabilities, they see your struggle, and they see that you are moving from all of those, and you're actually becoming this very confident woman. I mean, if you didn't talk about some of the struggles, which many of us go through, no one would have guessed, Azeezat. You're just sitting pretty, looking all cool, colorful, and then you explain that without help, you would have been sweaty. And we all do go through those seasons where we have panic attacks, and just even walking up the stage or even being asked a question, you are sweaty, and so thank you for actually taking us through that. And I just love how you're reeling off the names of Yinka, Mr. Excel, Fumi, Motiat,
and Jam Gambo. Shout out to you, Jam Gambo.
See, that's even more.
Yeah, so I did my first proper public speaking event last year because Jam Gambo gave me a voice. She's also my vocal empowerment coach. So
Shout out to you,
Jam
So you
Gambo.
see, it's so interesting that you have, and I keep going back to that, the fact that you know that this is an investment in yourself. We pay attention to the car, to the house, but we don't pay attention to this castle, this temple here ourselves, and we don't do that. And you just knowing that to be the best of yourself needs investment.
Absolutely.
We can spend all the money to renovate the kitchen, to have a bigger house, but we neglect this, and then we break, and we don't even get to enjoy the kitchen and the bigger house because we lose it, or we are no longer there. Self-care is absolutely so important. So thank you for taking us through that journey. If you are listening, this is Talk with Mo, and my guest today is Azeezat Adejare. She is just a phenomenal woman, and she's blowing us away with every sentence she says here. The journey of becoming is a journey each one of us owes to ourselves. And you know what? As long as we're living, we really never become, because we keep getting better and better as long as we're alive. So if you're just joining, thank you for tuning in. This is Talk with Mo. Please go ahead and click on that notification bell. And if you haven't subscribed, we please ask you to do so. We enjoy your support and we thank you for it.
Please subscribe.
Thank you. Thank you. So Azeezat, so I know that you have an event coming up and it's linked with food again.
Of course.
So why don't you talk to us about that event?
Okay. This is going to be my first in-person event since the mind-blowing Jollof concert. And it is themed spring stews and sauces. And again, what's the link between spring and stew?
And stew and sauces.
What is it? You know, and it is just a fusion of the vibrant burst of colors and flowers that comes with the spring season, and merging that with the vibrant burst of flavors that's packed in Nigerian stews and sauces.
I'm hungry already.
I know. You need to be there.
You see, you like to cook, and maybe you don't eat too much. But my own problem is I love to cook and I love to eat.
I love it.
I love to eat. So just that descriptive of the sauces and the stews is getting me hungry.
Yes.
So if you're getting hungry already, then you need to be at that event. What day is it now?
It's on May 31st. It's happening in Burlington. It is going to feature about a 6-course dining. There's going to be 2 appetizers, 3 main serves. We go really deep into the experience of a variety of stews and sauces in one sitting. On a regular day, we just have a side with the stew, right? Or a side with the soup or a sauce. We want to really go into and immerse ourselves in the stews and sauces experience with the vibrance of spring attached to it. So it's going to be like burst of flavors, burst of colors, and just being in that space and
atmosphere,
bubbly environment, getting ready to
network
absolutely.
as well.
Putting behind us the gloomy
winter
season and ushering in
absolutely
the season
spring
that we all look forward to.
Yes.
And really absolute cool people are going to be there. I only roll with cool people, so
I bet you do.
So if you're in that room, you can guarantee that you will be meeting and networking with really, really cool people that love to have fun, that have a heightened sense of appreciation for food and what it represents.
Not just for the good things of life.
Exactly. Like I said, I don't ever take things on surface level, and I tend to also connect with people that have like a deepened sense of appreciation for things and their approach to life. And so it's going to be a fantastic time. Everywhere I go is a party. So beyond food, we're going to have an electrifying after party where we're just going to let our head down. And have absolute fun. There'll also be games and cool prices. So,
oh, wonderful. Now, is there a price attached to this? How much is this going for?
Oh, okay. So there's going to be like really cool kitchen gadgets.
No, not the prices now. How much do they pay to go?
Oh, to access the
this
event. It's just
yes.
$69.
How much now?
$69.
$69.
Yep.
69 Canadian dollars.
Yep.
So we're going to put all of this on our socials and on the descriptive of this our YouTube video as you're watching, so that you can get to attend.
You should
Spring Stews and Sauces is what's called. Absolutely. By That Foodie Lawyer, TFL. On that note, Azeezat, do you have any final words? Advice to give someone out there listening?
Okay.
Oh, I will not say advice.
Okay.
Because we're both lawyers and we know the impact of
advice.
So, any opinions?
Okay. Okay, so opinions regarding
anything,
finding self, becoming.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that never ever settle. I think that that's important for people, especially for anyone actually. Never ever settle. If you feel a burning sense within you that there's more you need to give, there's more you need to do, and it's different for different people, right? Mm-hmm. Some people need to do more in terms of how they show up in maybe the public space because they have a business that they're trying to put out and they're not sure how to go about talking about it to people. For some people, it's in the workspace. For some people, it's in their marriages. They're trying to find their voice. For some people, it's just within their own family dynamic where they're struggling to use their voice. Irrespective of where you find yourself, if you feel that burning sense that there's more you should give, there's more you should say, there's more you should do.
There's more you can do.
Pursue it, invest in it. Do not wince. Do not settle. Do not accept the fact that you have to appear a certain way where people expect of you. You do not owe anyone to show up in a certain way, and you will be doing yourself a disservice to remain stifled in or limited in how you show up. It's something that when you think about it in years to come, you might not forgive yourself or these people for, which is why going through that journey and immersing in it is super important, and it's the best investment that you can ever give yourself. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, well said, Azeezat. There's really no reason we should live as shells of ourselves. We only get this one life. It's not like anyone else has a second life, right? So really make that investment in yourself. If you need help, seek out for help. Azeezat reached out to someone just from a Facebook post. And sometimes we do get those posts that speak to us. And if something speaks to you, who knows where that will lead you, right? Yeah. Reach out to someone and find your voice back. So Azeezat, thank you for taking us on your journey of becoming. We can't wait you barely scratched the surface. So you've not started. So we can't wait to see how this journey evolves and unfolds. We're rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
For your upcoming events, Spring Stews and Sauces, it's called, in Burlington, Ontario. We're going to put all of that in the description for this video. And thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this today has been a very fantastic conversation. More people should do this, and these types of conversations should happen more often. So
I agree.
Yes.
What are you waiting for? Come talk to us. Yes. We're here. Looking forward to seeing you. You know what I always say, take good care of yourself. Catch you later. God bless you. Bye now.